Is it finally the time to get some singles in Riftbound TCG? Let's get into it right now. We all know the Wave 2 has come out, and I told people to hold on to some of these prices of these cards. We will see them drop. And guess what? The prices are finally seeing some relief. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the cards that are tanking and what I would recommend or what I would look for if I need to fill out some of my missing cards, which cards or which price points do you kind of want to look at that. So let's go ahead and get started and let's look at this market watch for this week. Okay, so let's just start off with the sealed product, right? So Riftbound, we're looking still at the booster box at $283. The market is saying closer to 290, but the lowest listing is around 283. Unfortunately, with Wave 2, we have not seen much of the product drop. Actually did drop for a little bit to around $230, but unfortunately it didn't hold. So at $280, I'm still going to tell you do not buy that. And guys, if you're buying it even at these numbers, I get it. Some of you guys are just trying to get into the game. You may have bought it at $210, but you're still overpaying. This product is $120 MSRP. And honestly, any stores that are scalping players, I just completely hate. We saw some temporary relief on the sealed product, but what really matters now is where we're seeing the relief now is with the cards themselves, singles. And honestly, if you're playing any TCG, guys, we all know that buying singles is the best way to go. So let's go ahead and look into it. Look at this beautiful list of cards that are slowly declining. But the most surprising one for me to actually be declining is Kai'Sa, guys. Kai'Sa at one point was sitting at $120 card, and she's now currently at markets around $80. Now, she's still expensive in my opinion. I would like her to be a little bit cheaper. We know she's still going to be good in next set. You know, Annie's still good next set. Draven's going to be in next set. So those decks like to have Kai'Sas in there. So, but the fact that it's dropped to $80 is actually pretty good. So I'm actually pretty happy here. I'm missing still one Kai'Sa. I still need one more. If I can get this, if Kai'Sa can drop to $60, I'm insta buying it, right? Now, guys, these are just my recommendations. This is what I do and what I do. This is not financial advice. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I do, what I'm looking at prices. But let's move on. Now, this card, Deadbloom Predator, this card is tanked. It has tanked. Now it's slowly, if you look at this curve, look at this graph right here. It was just straight, right? And then boom, the tank, right? Now, Deadbloom Predator is sitting at $68, and this at one point was close to $100 card. Again, this is the type of card I want to see. I need 2 Deadbloom Predators still, y'all. So if I can see Deadbloom Predator fall down to $50, I'm probably going to buy it, or depending on what my pulls are in set 2, we're going to be trading for them. But yeah, Deadbloom Predator, very happy. Now, some might ask you, why is Deadbloom Predator dropping in price? Well, because a lot of the set 2 decks that we're seeing in the meta in China aren't really running Deadbloom Predators. And because of that, I think the market here in the United States is showing. But guys, keep in mind, the China market does not mean that's going to be the market or the meta in the United States. Why? Because we play differently in the United States. We came up with Annie. They did not. We really pioneered Set to go into Kai'Sa. They kind of were exploring it. They actually didn't really like Set as a leader or a legend mostly. But that's why I said these cards can fluctuate depending on what is in the meta. In the United States, we have some excellent card players in the West, and we have some excellent deck builders in the West. So don't be surprised once Spirit Force drops here and we see some surprise decks, especially going into Las Vegas regional qualifier that comes out basically 2 weeks after the set drops. Don't be surprised if you see some Magic decks, and if you're thinking about getting a Deadbloom when it's at $50 and then the winning deck was using 3, guess what? Deadbloom is going to skyrocket in price. That's just the way TCGs are. So I actually personally want to get Deadbloom down to $50 and hopefully either buy 1 or 2 of them, because I still need to. I play orange. I like to have the colors. I'm going to tell you how I play. The colors that I play, I try to get a play set of everything. There's some colors that I don't play and I don't care for them, right? So I'm very different when it comes to most people and most TCGs. They try to collect everything, or I don't. Like, for example, Star Wars Unlimited, I only play villain. So I just trade or sell all my hero stuff. Riftbound, I'm pretty locked in certain colors. Those are the colors that I want to have my play sets of cards. It doesn't matter if the leaders or legends and those domains are good. I play what I like, so I want to make sure I have the cards that I can have in order to build my decks. All right, let's keep moving on. We got Cathian Rain. Guys, remember, this card used to be hell of expensive. This was like an $80 card, and now we're sitting at 20 bucks. This is where I said, guys, if you need Cathian Rains, wait and look at that card price. And why? If you're new to the channel, you just started watching Riftbound, you're not sure how this works. Well, a lot of the Kai'Sa decks started abandoning their Cathian range. You didn't need that many. I personally think you only need one in the deck. Now, this might slightly shot up in price based on the new rule adjustment, where you don't have to pay a deflect or a cost every single time you target something. It's just at the initial time when you play the spell targeting something. So that might cause it to come up in price a little bit, but I really don't think so. And at $20, this is a great time to buy an epic in this card game. So I know some of you players might be missing one or two. Let's say you have your Kai'Sas or some of those better alternate arts, or you have those Deadblooms. This is the time you're going to have to cut those deals with the people at your LGS and finish out what you're missing. You might have to do a 3 or 4 person trade, but hey, you guys got to get it done. Now, next up, we have Time Warp. Time Warp's also seeing a little bit of a decline recently. For the past 30 days, we're seeing about almost a 30% decline. This card used to be close to around that $70 range and is down to $48. I do think it's going to drop a little bit more, personally, just looking at the way it's been dropping here the past 30 days. Will it become a $20 card like Cathian Rain? No, I don't think so. I think if this card settles around that $30, $35 range, I think it's going to be an excellent time to pick up. I'm missing one Time Warp, so if I see it drop to $30, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy it. Now, the thing is that I'm not sure is I'm still trying to analyze the decks that are coming out of China. Because if this card is not being prevalently used in the meta, you're going to see this card drop. Right? So right now, we're sitting close to around $52. I think it's going to drop a little bit more. Just really depends on how that US meta shapes up for set 2. This could become a $20 card if it's not being used at all in set 2 meta. But guys, if you need the cards or you're getting close to trying to figure out, oh, should I hold on? I don't know. I would hold off a little bit before buying it. But if you have it, you got an extra one, you need to set it up, I would recommend probably trying to see if you can do a trade deal out of that one. Now let's move on to the Seal of Discord. This one actually is crazy. This one I was not expecting to go up in value, and it has. This thing has gone up 154% in value over the past 30 days. This was sitting at one point $12. And it's spiking up, it's sitting close to $45. Hey guys, and what did I tell you? A lot of those videos is that in my past market watches, when you see epics, if they're under $10, my general rule of thumb is immediately buy. If you're sitting at epics that are between $10 to $15, those are the ones you really need to consider to help finish off your playset. So I already have a playset of Seal of Discord. I actually got my Wave 2 box from Riftbound on Wednesday, and I actually just pulled another one of these. I don't need it. So guess what this is going? It's going into my trade binder, guys, right? Because I need to cut a deal with someone to get my third Kai'Sa. I need to cut a deal, get a Deadbloom. So if someone's planning to be playing some purple, we know Draven's good, but I don't think Draven runs the Seal of Discord in it. So guys, actually tell me in the comments, who's running Seal of Discord in China meta? Because this card is skyrocketing and I would like to know why. I'm not entirely sure there. But guys, this is the card. You got extras or you don't play in the purple domain. You need to put them in your trade binder today. When you go to your LGS for your Nexus night, you need to start talking to players and cut a deal. This is going to be a great time to put this card for trade. All right, let's keep moving on. The Dazzling Aurora. This card again has taken some damage here. It's lost 50% value in the past 30 days. This card was close to an $80 card. Actually, it was higher than that. Let's look at. It was actually about an $85 card, right? And we're now at $42. Closer to 40, really. Again, A lot of people are saying there's so much gear in the next set, there's going to be a lot of gear hate. So using Dazzling Aurora is not, and it's starting to show that there's in the metas in China, you're not seeing much Dazzling Aurora out there, and that's why the card is declining. I actually do think the card might decline a little bit more. If it can get down to that $30-$35 range, I think that is a buying time or a buying signal for me. I actually have 2 of them, and I need 1 more. In my binder, I only have 1, but I let my brother borrow 1, right? So he might be looking at some of his cards that he can trade. I actually will tell him, or if he's watching that video, Cesar, go ahead and make those trades, because I think this card might drop down. Get ready for trades, because I think it might drop down a little bit more over the next few weeks leading up to the Spirit Forge release. Now, before that meta evolves in Las Vegas, this is, like I said, we're going to talk about why you want to buy some of these cards because they can skyrocket. But also be aware that once Spirit Forge comes out, those are going to be the hot cards. Those cards might be hot, and some of these cards are going to continue to decline. So it all depends on what the meta is for us here in the West. Showstopper has also taken some tanks, bro. This thing is down the last 30 days, down 35%. And the last 3 months, it's just tanked, yo. This was an $80 card. I remember going to the Houston regional qualifier, and the vendors were buying this card for $65 and they were selling it for $85. This thing is $30 right now. So if you're a set player or you want to get into Riftbound, this is probably the most expensive card in a set deck. But guess what? You can buy 3 for $90 and you can buy the rest of the deck, I think, for maybe $25. And you have a pretty competitive deck for $120. So if you're new to the game, let me know. I can send you a list, and I actually have an eBay link that can actually, I have a TCG player link that can add all the cards into your inventory, and you can just click buy. Make sure you actually update the cart, but yeah. But here it is, yeah. Showstopper is a good price point. Do I see it dropping a little bit more? No, I think $30. If it could get to $25, I think that's ideal. But looking at this, it's probably going to settle around that $30 range, and I think that's okay. I'm not okay. I'm okay with that. Could it get? Would I like it to be $20? Yes, I would. I would love Showstopper to be about a $20 card, but at $30, I'm not going to complain. It's a great way to get into the game. It allows the players that are brand new who can't get product, you can at least build a good deck that's competitive. It may not win you a skirmish, will not win a qualifier, but it's a solid deck. Now let's keep moving on. The White Flame Protector. This thing has also crashed, yo. It's taking a 60% hit here. This was about a $65. We're now sitting at $25. And unfortunately, I thought this card was going to actually stay high in price, and I was completely wrong. See, guys, that's why you should completely always trust what people say online. Do your own research. Why? Because I thought this card was going to be a staple in the Aurelia deck. I just thought, man, this thing is great. You play it, you target it, right? It gets +8. You use Aurelia trigger to exhaust her and pay 1 power, and you ready it. That means he can swing in for 16 damage. This card is not even in that deck. The card's not even in the deck, y'all. So, hey, I'm not a deck builder. I can try. I don't claim myself to be. I like to, but I just thought this was going to be. I was like, oh, that's a no-brainer for this legend, but apparently I'm wrong. I'm curious to see. You know, we got some great people in the West. We got some great cookers out here. I think someone might be cooking something with Aurelia with this deck, but with this card. But yeah, this one's definitely tanked, and it's wild. $25. Could it tank more? Yeah, I think it's going to become a $20 epic. If it hits $20, guys, that's a buy. I would buy immediately at $20. Moving on, we have Seal of Unity. One of the seals that's also taken a little bit of a hit over the past 30 days, about a 35% decline, right? We were at $40. It's sitting around $25, $24. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much seal use. Darius was kind of the main card or main legend that used it with the bait and hook deck, but this card is kind of declined in value. We're not seeing a lot of the China decks. I do think this card will probably drop. If this card comes down to like that $15, $20 price point and you're missing one, I think that would be the good time to go ahead and pick one up and get that done. Moving on to the invert timelines. Again, Another epic that's actually been taking a kind of a hit. It's a 40% decline in the past 30 days. I've gone from like $35 to about a $20 card. And I still think this card is going to decline further. This is probably gonna, if it gets down to 15 bucks, I think that's the buy signal for it. Why? Not many people are playing the card. China meta is not using it. People are not using it here in the current meta. It's just what happens. Card values drop. Guys, but think if you guys know anything about TCGs, if you're new to TCGs or you're new to Riftbound, what might be not good in set 1 might be amazing in set 4. So if you know you play into purple, you want to probably get your play set of those cards because eventually those cards will be extremely powerful. And sometimes it might never be powerful. It's just a thumbnail. But I like to have the colors I play, like I mentioned before. I like to have that. And guys, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and do me a big favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it. Okay, moving on to Baited Hook. Again, another card that's taken some massive L's. It's currently down. It's down for the past 30 days. It says here 7%, but I don't think this is entirely accurate because at one point this card was closer to a $40 card, down to $20. So it's taking some hits, right? And again, because Baited Hook was really ran through Darius, no one else really ran it, and it continued. I think it's actually going to keep on tanking a little bit. I think it's going to go down to $15 card. So if you want to scoop one up, that would be the time. All right, and now let's move on to the rares. The card that's been taking some L's is the Thousand Tail Watcher. This thing's down almost 36% the last 30 days. Guys, this used to be a $40 rare. We're sitting at $22. And I think this card will continue to decline. And not a lot of decks in China are using it. First of all, a $20 rare is insane. It's overpriced. The rare shouldn't be that expensive. But with that being said, I do think this might settle around $20. The card is extremely powerful. So if you're still needing one more Thousand Tail Watcher, you probably want to give it a couple days and you might see it drop to 20 bucks and I would pick it up. I don't know if it's going to drop under $20 personally. It's just too good. It's just a good card for blues. Like, this should have been an epic in my opinion, but that's my thoughts. All right. So now let's look at all of the rares in general. Guys, remember, if you weren't able to pick up a lot of product, you're at a good time to buy some rares, right? We have the Darius, the most Kaisa decks, any red decks on the run, still sitting around $6 at the market price. Falling Star, another staple in red decks, sitting around just under $5. The Raza, the Sunder, he's actually coming up in Draven. There's a new Draven that's the new Draven build's running him. You see his card spike. This used to be $1 rare, and now we're sitting close to a $4.50 rare. So again, this is what I was telling you guys. If you saw rares under $2, you probably wanted to scoop them up and finish your play sets, because this situations like this can happen. And it's going to happen once set 2 drops and someone cooks up some amazing decks in the West. But for me, my rule of thumb when I'm buying cards, singles that I'm missing, is if the card is under $2, I'm probably going to auto buy to finish out my play sets. It's just that easy, guys. Because if you think about all the rares in the game and you're missing like 20 rares, and let's say the averages are $1 between the $2.50 rares, I mean, you spend 20 bucks and you complete your play set. So that's my general strategy when I'm looking at rares. Obviously, make sure you open up all your product that you get. So if you have an LGS, it's gonna let you get some product for Spirit Forge, obviously. But then I would wait a little bit after the Spirit Forge releases, especially during pre-release. Do not buy anything off Spirit Forge from pre-release, because people are going to pull signatures. They're going to pull epics. They're going to pull alternate arts. They're going to put showcases. I would not buy any of that opening weekend. That's going to be extremely expensive and overflated. I guarantee you someone's going to pull a signature Draven and they're going to probably try to sell it for $2,000. I won't be surprised, but don't buy it. Wait till the product releases on the 13th. Those prices all will crash. But again, in general, like I said, look at all these cards that are all the rares. There's so many cards under 50 cents. Just go ahead and scoop up what you guys need. And if you're going to be purchasing, I do have a TCG Player affiliate link in the description. Go ahead and use that. It gives me a little bit of kickback. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps me out. So I'll appreciate it. Now, let's move on to Stack Deck. We're talking about the uncommon here. Stack Deck has actually gone up in price just because purple is pretty good, but it's actually seen some hit. It used to be almost $8, $9 rare, and it's now sitting closer to about $4. I mean, it's $4 uncommon. Still, Set 2 Draven is using it, so the value is going to be there. I don't see this card dropping below $4. So if you have on Stack Decks, you probably want to get them in a trade binder and get something that you need to trade out. And again, if we look at the uncommons in general, guys, they're dirt cheap, right? I probably would not buy any uncommon. I would just go to your LGSs. They have a lot of bulk. If you have any, a lot of the communities are really nice. They might have some, like if you're in my LGS and you need a Spectrometron playset, I'll give you 3. I have more than that. You can have them, right? Just ask around. You'll be surprised how good the community is. And that's it, Riftbound Squad. That is the market watch for January the 19th. We're seeing cards values decline. The rares definitely are declining. Uncommons are just dirt cheap. We're seeing some of the best epics that used to be extremely expensive also go down in price. So go ahead, let me know what your thoughts are. Go ahead and hit me up in the comments. What do you think about the market? And hey, we'll start looking at some of the cards coming out in Spirit Forge just right before the release of Spirit Forge. I'm not going to talk about them, like I said, during the pre-release weekend, because the card prices are going to be insane. But we do going to look at it right after the pre-release, where I'll look at some of those cards and where I think they probably might start dropping or not. But like again, we'll start checking out some of that Spirit Forge content coming soon. Thank you for your time. Hope you have a good peace out.